Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. My name is Ria Arnaini from the English Education Study Program of Winraden Fata Palembang. Today, I would like to present my seminar proposal entitled The Correlation Among Writing Subregulation, Writing Motivation, and Writing Achievement of 10th grade students of Senior High School in Palembang. First, I would like to explain the background of the study. Writing is one of the important skills in English learning because students use writing to express ideas, thoughts, and information in written forms. Besides that, writing also supports students in academic and future professional communication. In academic settings, students are required to write assignments, essays, report, and other academic texts. Therefore, students need good writing ability to support their academic success. However, many students still face difficulties in writing. Writing considered difficult because students must combine several aspects at the same time, such as grammar, vocabulary, organization, content, and mechanics. Students often have difficulty organizing ideas using correct grammar and choosing appropriate vocabulary. Because of these difficulties, many students cannot achieve good writing performance. In this study, I focus on two internal factors that may influence student writing achievements, including writing self-regulation and writing motivation. Writing self-regulation refers to students' ability to manage their writing process, track planning, monitoring, and evaluating their work. Students who have good self-regulation usually prepare their ideas before writing, monitor their progress during writing, and revise their writing after finishing the draft. Therefore, students with better self-regulation need to produce more organized and meaningful writing. The second factor is writing motivation. Writing motivation refers to student willingness, interest, and effort in writing activities. Motivated students usually participate actively in writing tasks, spend more effort in writing, and try to improve their writing ability continuously. And motivation also encourages students to persist when they face difficulties in writing tasks. And several previous studies support the importance of writing self-regulation and writing motivation. Nugraini and Ahiria found that self-regulated learning strategies have a significant correlation with student writing performance. Tang also found that motivational beliefs influence students' self-regulated learning strategies in writing. And in addition, Arianika found a significant correlation between writing motivation and student writing ability. Prativi and others also reported the writing motivation significantly influenced writing achievement. However, there are still some research gaps in previous studies. Most previous studies examined the variables separately. There are still limited studies investigating writing self-regulation, writing motivation, and writing achievement simultaneously, especially in Indonesian EFL context and among senior high school students. Therefore, the study is considered to investigate the relationship among these variables. Based on the background above, there are two research questions in this study. The first research question is there a significant correlation among writing self-regulation, writing motivation, and writing achievement of 10th grade students of senior high school in Palembang? The second research question is to what extent do writing self-regulation and writing motivation correlate with writing achievement? In line with the research question, the objectives of the study are first to analyze the correlation among writing self-regulation, writing motivation, and writing achievement. And the second is to analyze the extent of the correlation among the variables. Okay, next, I would like to explain the theoretical framework of the study. The first theory is self-regulated learning theory proposed by Zimmerman 2002. According to Zimmerman, learners actively participate in their own learning process through planning, monitoring, and evaluating. In writing activities, students use this process to manage their writing tasks effectively. The second theory is self-determination theory, proposed by Desi and Ryan. This theory explains extrinsic motivation, and amotivation. Intrinsic motivation refers to doing activities because of interest or enjoyment, while extrinsic motivation refers to doing activities because of external rewards or pressures, and amotivation refers to the absence of motivation. The third framework is writing assessment, proposed by Weigel 2002. According to Weigel, writing achievement can be assessed throughout several aspects, including content, organization, vocabulary, grammar, and mechanics. These aspects are used in assessing students' writing achievement in the study. Next, I would like to explain the research method. The study used quantitative method with correlational design. Correlational design is used because the study aims to determine the relationship among variables statistically without manipulating the variables. In the study, X1 is writing subregulation, X2 is writing motivation, and Y is writing achievement. Writing subregulation and writing motivation are independent variables, while writing achievement is the dependent variable. The population of the study is all 10th grade students of SMA Negeri 6 Palembang and SMA Negeri 9 Palembang in the academic year 2025 and 2026. The total population is 550 students. The sample of the study consists of uh, 110 students selected by using cluster random sampling technique. Cluster random sampling is used because the researchers select classes as group or cluster instead of selecting students individually. The instruments used in this study are writing subregulation questionnaire, writing motivation questionnaire, and writing test. The writing self-regulation questionnaire is adapted from Canlapan and Velasco 2009. The questionnaire consists of 115 items that measure students' self-regulated learning strategies in writing activities. And the writing motivation questionnaire is adapted from Errol Mas and Yesiliur 2002. The questionnaire consists of 14 items that measures intrinsic motivation, extrinsic motivation, and amotivation. The third instrument is writing test. In this test, students will be asked to write descriptive text based on the topics or picture provided by the researcher. The writing test is based on the English curriculum from 10th grade students. The students' writing will be scored using analytic scoring rubric adapted from Weigel 2002. Scoring aspects include content, organization, vocabulary, grammar, and mechanics. Next, I would like to explain validity and reliability. For validity, the questionnaire have already been tested by the original researchers. Meanwhile, the writing test will use content validity. The validators from UIN Raden Fata Palembang will examine whether the writing test is appropriate and relevant to the research objectives. For reliability, the questionnaires will use Chromebooks Alpha Analyze Track SPSS version 26. Meanwhile, the writing test will use Inter-Rater Reliability. The raters will score the student writing to ensure consistency in scoring. The procedure of collecting data begins with asking permission from the school. After obtaining permission, the researcher will explain the research procedure to the student, and then the questionnaire will be distributed to the students. After that, the student will complete the writing test in the classroom. And the last, the researcher will collect and analyze the data. The data will be analyzed using SPSS version 26. First, the researchers will conduct descriptive statistic analysis, and then person-product moment correlation will be used to determine the correlation among writing subregulation, writing motivation, and writing achievement. And the last, the researchers expect that writing subregulation and writing motivation positively correlate with student writing achievement. Students who have better subregulation and higher motivation are expected to achieve better writing performance. Besides that, the study is expected to provide useful contribution for students, teachers, and future researchers. I think that's all my presentation. Thank you for your attention and sorry if there are mistakes in my presentation. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.